Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Brian Gregg back with another screencast for my OpenCart tutorials. If you remember in my last screencast, we covered the basic setup of an OpenCart installation. We did it on our local host using MAMP, and we touched a little bit on customizing the theme. So we created our own theme and copied some critical files over there that we need to really get started. But we did not really do anything with the styles themselves. So today what I'd like to focus on is actually modifying the CSS to brand our OpenCart installation to use a color scheme. So I went ahead and I picked a color scheme off of one of my favorite sites. Let's just scoot over here. Color Lovers. So I'm going to use this one. It's called, what did they call this palette? Blue Shift. And I like Color Lovers because I'm not the best with color palettes, and being able to pull together some colors that look nice together when you're not working off of somebody else's branding just to get something that has some nice visual appeal, it works. So let's go ahead and jump right into some code. What we'll do is we'll take a look at the OpenCart installation that we had up and running. So if you remember, we've got this beautiful slider up here. It kind of comes as the basic install, basic template with some of the nifty graphics that they use for some consumer electronics. And we're going to leave that right now. I'm fine with consumer electronics. They're neat, and they serve the purpose. What we really want to be interested in is taking a look at customizing some of these colors, because this is a little grating, and we just want it to look like our own. So we have here a navigation along the left hand side over here, and I think this is where we're going to start our focus. So let's just inspect this element. And as you can see here, we have some different classes that represent some of these different components. Class box heading, class box content. And I went ahead and, if you remember the last time, sorry about that, we created a StyleSheet.css. I also went ahead and created a main.css. And in my templates here, we've got a header.tpl. So those are the three files we're going to be taking a look at today. Really, all of the changes that we make are going to be in our main.css, but it's nice to have that stylesheet.css open in case we need to refer back to something in there. And the header.tpl was just to add in the line for the main.css, so that we know that we're pulling some of our styles from there. Alright, beautiful. So let's get started. I went ahead and just kind of beforehand, I created some styles using the box category. So box category, and then for the anchor tag, color of BDD. Important because we want to override some of the other styles that are floating around in there. We're going to bump up the font size to about 14 pixels and take a look, see how that comes across. So let's just pop on over to our Safari browser. Since this is on the local host, we don't need to upload anything. And oh boy, okay, now we can't see anything. So let's head back over to Textastic and take a quick look here, see if we can remedy this situation with some nice, beautiful colors. So we're gonna take a look at our unordered list box category, and we're going to take a list item as well as the box category. Whoops. List item first child. Okay, and we're going to change the background color. Hopefully we can use this color that I got out of Color Lovers to give us a nice blue background. We're gonna add a 10 pixel border and padding of 14 pixels. And let's pop back on over here. How are we doing? Oh, wonderful. So, really quickly, with just a few lines of code, we've got a nice customized navigation bar along the left-hand side over here. And as you can see, it's going to work across our entire application. Since we changed the list item as well as the first child, we can see the styles carrying through the entire navigation. Very nice. Now, that kind of square background is a little jarring for me, so we're going to go back into our code here, and let's take our UL box category, and again, I know these by the box category and the first child. I know all the classes because I went ahead and looked in the looked at the source and inspected those elements in Safari. But you can obviously use any of the dev tools that come with Firefox or Chrome to do pretty much the same thing. And a lot of this is just kind of trial and error and making changes to some of the individual classes and see how they respond in the page, and you know, the general type of thing that that you would expect when you're changing a customizable CMS. It's, you can't really rely on documentation as much as you can rely on just inspecting the elements and seeing what they're called and making the changes. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add some border radiuses in here. Radius 1M, 1M, border. If you do not familiar with this particular syntax for making rounded corners, or if you're still using images, then I would really suggest you familiarize yourself with this because it looks beautiful. Alright, so I like that. Sorry about that. I like that. It looks nice. Okay, and we'll go back, and I just want to make a change to this. So if you remember when we inspected this element before, it's our box heading, so I want to go ahead and I want to customize that a little bit too, because it doesn't really fit with what we're doing here with the rest of the navigation bar, and really want to make sure we style everything to be consistent. So we're going to change our box content, our box, and our box heading. And let's background. Again, I'm going to make this important because I was running into some difficulty overriding the styles. And I want to get rid of some of those borders because really we just want to use the colors as kind of a natural contrast against that background, rather than having those borders separating things. Just kind of gives it a nicer look and feel, in my opinion. So that's much better. I just kind of darkened the background a little bit behind here and took out the borders to kind of give it that nicer visual appeal. A couple of other things that I wanted to take a look at. So obviously this navigation bar, something's funky here. It doesn't look right. It kind of has this white text on white background. I don't know what happened there, but we're going to clean that up because obviously that's not functional whatsoever. So I'm going to, again, let's inspect our elements. And this one's a little bit trickier because we actually have to inspect an element that's hidden when we're not on hover. So we have this menu. So we're going to make some changes to the menu, unordered list, and see what that looks like. Okay. So let's start with our menu. We're going to change the background color. Again, I'm jacking this from our palette that we got on Color Lovers, and we're going to go with 349 8 BC. Wonderful hexadecimal values, and we're going to update our unordered list, the background color, and this is going to be for our drop downs there. Background color of 246 A99. Alright, so let's see what that does for us. Ooh, very nice. Alright, so now we can actually see those menus. They have a white text on a dark background, which makes a lot more sense. And again, we can kind of navigate through this and see how things look on the different pages. I want to make some changes to the general body of this because this bright white background, it's just a little too bright for me with the color scheme that we're working with here. So let's make some changes to our body. And we're going to again set the background color to AC B8 B9. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so that's really dark, but you'll see what we're going to do because this is just going to be for the background border. What we're actually going to do is we're going to make some changes to the container here. So let's just inspect this. And as you can see, this div ID container contains most of the content here, so I'm going to go ahead and make a change to that as well to lighten that up. Background color. We're going to use that same hex value that we used for the back of our box content so that everything blends together. 5, F2, F0, and you can use SAS or something to kind of automate this and make it a little bit easier. Now that looks pretty good. So now we've got that dark body background and a nice consistent slightly darker shade of white against the background of the site with that bright blue with white contrast, which I really like. So I think we got a nice look and feel here. Just a few other things that I wanted to change. So I want to change the font, and I want to shy away from using some of the more standard fonts. Actually I'm going to take a look. I've got a font here from Adobe Edge Web Fonts, and if you're not familiar with this, basically what you do is you use a JavaScript that's hosted on Adobe site, and there's a ton of these web fonts out there. Different services, some are free, some are paid services. Adobe happens to have a free service, so all you have to do is really just grab these 2 lines of code. So I'm going to grab this script source. And we're going to copy this over into our header.tpl, and we can drop it up here with some of our other JavaScripts. Oh, for a second here. Copy the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. We'll save that. And back over to our main. Now what we can do is we can grab this, and it has a fallback font too, just in case, sans serif. But we can use our Droid Sans, and I'm going to add that right into my body style sheet. And let's see how that works. Okay, looks good. I like that font. Alright, we're going to bump up the font size a little bit and make it a font size of 13 pixels. And just the color 686 E6E. Alright, see how that looks. Okay, looks pretty good. Alright, good enough for now. And just a few last things. I did go ahead, and there was some stuff with these wish lists that you can see the add to cart. You can't read it. I went ahead and inspected some of these elements as well, and we've got our input button over here that we need to change. So I'm just going to go through and make a couple of finishing touches here. So got our box category. So we're going to change our product grid. Wish list. Anchor. Color. 686 E6E. We're going to change that input button. Color 246 A99. And I wanted to clean up in that menu. If you'll notice, there was some kind of weird stuff going on over here with the border. So I just wanted to neaten that up a little. So we're gonna, from our menu, UL, LI, div, border none, adding 0px. And I think that'll about do it. Alright, you can see our add to cart is looking a lot better now. You can see our menus are looking a lot more consistent. Things are generally looking pretty neat around here. Everything, all of the styles are carrying through to all of the different pages. And we've really got a pretty consistent look and feel here. If you just want to look by contrast, we can go over to OpenCart's website, and we can take a look at the demo and just see, you know, really how far we've come, right? Look at that. You know, I mean, it's got the same content, but you know, it really gives us a nice, well-established look. So, and especially like that navigation bar on the left-hand side. So, hopefully, this is enough to get you started in theming your own OpenCart site and getting in there, getting comfortable with making changes to the style sheets based on the exploring some of the elements from the browser. And in the next walkthrough, what I really want to cover is making some changes to the way that content displays in some of the other TPL files. So really going to get into the meat of modifying your OpenCart layout. So really good stuff to come. Hopefully this was useful to you. And again, this is Brian Gregg from Resurgence Web Design, and signing off. Thank you.